Viewers, you're watching an important news break. You might recall that last week I had told you that political correctness might have held back Shraddha's family, friends, and even the state's agencies from rushing to her aid, even though it was common knowledge that Aaftab was brutalizing her. At that point, your channel had no idea, absolutely no idea, that Shraddha had in fact alerted the police seeking their help in the face of repeated death threats and beatings from Aaftab. Yes, viewers, she had. 2 years to the date. Today, viewers, Times Now has accessed her plea, a letter she wrote to the Vasai police 2 years ago on this day. In this letter, Shraddha says that Aaftab threatened to cut her into pieces and throw her away. In a way, Shraddha chillingly predicted her own death at Aaftab's hands. She even knew what he was going to do to her and how he was going to dispense with her body, with her remains, viewers. The letter makes for a harrowing read. Shraddha talks about the battering she had got from Aaftab, not once but repeatedly, about bruises and Aaftab's attempts to blackmail her that went on for months altogether. Significantly, the letter also categorically says that if something were to happen to her, then the police must hold Aaftab singularly responsible for it. Viewers, this is a chilling premonition. Now we can all imagine the constant fear she was living under. She was so young, viewers. So young to have been so burdened by her own fears. But the police, viewers, and this is the sad part, the police, it appears, to have done absolutely nothing. Zilch. Nothing. Indeed, the letter was written on the 23rd of November 2020, and the stamp at the bottom of the letter shows that it was duly received by the police. They behaved, viewers, like they were one giant letterbox. A more responsive police force would have informed Shraddha's family. Viewers, but the father said he wasn't told. He had no clue. He wasn't even speaking to Shraddha. They weren't on speaking terms. So had the police just picked up the phone and said, "Are you Shraddha's father? Well, this is what your daughter has sent us. We don't know how to act. Do you know about this? Why don't you go and meet Aaftab? Contact your daughter. Else we will do so." None of that happened. In fact, Shraddha's father has now blamed the police for effecting a cover-up. Of course, viewers, there will be many of you who will say that the father should have been more attentive, that even if she was in a relationship that they did not find palatable for whatever reason, he should have at least kept in touch with her. Of course, viewers, and I'm sure her father regrets this. But the question is, viewers, sometimes when your own child is adamant, pursuing a course of action, has an agency quite of her own, it becomes difficult. It's never easy. But viewers, it was very simple for the police. They had no such choices. They had no such personal dilemmas. But why is it that the police didn't lift a finger to secure Shraddha? If the police, then under Uddhav Thackeray's Aghadi Sarkar, had acted, maybe Shraddha could have been saved. Maybe, viewers, just maybe. The Vasai police, of course, has said that Shraddha withdrew the complaint. But viewers, she did so only 26 days later after writing to the police. Why didn't the police act for nearly 4 weeks? Did it not think it fit to question Aaftab? Why did they at least not file an FIR, which they should have as per the law? That is the procedure. That is codified. Did they not even ask Shraddha why she withdrew the complaint? Was it under Aaftab's pressure? Did he find out? Did he threaten more violence if she didn't withdraw the complaint? There were several questions that would have struck any half-intelligent person. The discovery of the letter has sparked politics. The BJP has lashed out at the Uddhav faction of the Shiv Sena and the Congress and the NCP that were all part of the coalition in power in 2020 in Maharashtra, viewers. The BJP has accused the coalition government, the Aghadi government, of not acting because of vote bank considerations and pressures. This in itself is an indirect reference to the fact that the Aghadi government didn't want to upset minorities by seem to be persecuting a Muslim in an interfaith relationship. That's what the BJP is saying without saying so. But first, let's quickly take you over the harrowing contents of the letter. Now, viewers, here is what Shraddha wrote to the police. It is so prescient, it will chill you to the bone. Let's pull it up. On 23rd November 2020, this is the letter. I, Ms. Shraddha Vikas Walkar, would like to report Aaftab Amin Poonawala, who has been abusing me and beating me up. Today he tried to kill me by suffocating me, and he scares and blackmails me that he will kill me and cut me up in pieces and throw me away. Throw me away. Since last 6 months, he has been hitting me, but I did not have the guts to go to the police because he threatened to kill me. His parents are aware that he beats me and that he tried to kill me. They also know about us living together in the past, and they visit us on weekends. I lived with him till date, as we were supposed to get married anytime soon and had the blessings of his family. Henceforth, I am not willing to live with him, so any kind of physical damage should be considered coming from him, as he has been blackmailing me to kill me or hurt me whenever he sees me anywhere. Now, viewers, this person is in great distress. She has mustered the courage finally to speak to the police. It was a very precarious situation. The police did nothing. Nothing. Times Now spoke to the DCP of Mumbai Police, or Vasai Police rather, who claims that necessary SOPs were followed, and after 26 days, Shraddha herself gave in writing that no further action was needed. This is Suhas Bhavche, DCP Zone 3. Viewers, listen to him.
उस मामले में जो भी जरूरी कार्रवाई करनी थी वो कार्रवाई पुलिस की तरफ से की गई है। जो अर्जी दी गई थी, अर्जी के ऊपर में जांच हुई है। जांच के बाद में खुद जो कंप्लेनेंट ने लिखित बयान दिया है कि उसकी अब कोई कंप्लेंट या तकरार रही नहीं है, और जो उसका जो ये था फ्रेंड था, उसके फ्रेंड के माँ बाप ने आके उनको मतलब समझाया था दोनों को भी, और अभी उसकी कोई तकरार नहीं है, ऐसा करके उसने रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट दिया था, और जिसके चलते वो मतलब वहीं पे वो क्लोज हो गया।
So viewers, no FIR was filed. FIR is the base document to initiate any form or any complaint or any probe on a complaint, viewers, but that wasn't done, and this is supposed to be done per force. Every police station now after Nirbhaya's death has a women's cell. and they are meant to immediately take note of any physical violence. But it didn't happen, so I don't know, viewers, what this probe was, what the details of this probe are. The police certainly haven't shared them. They haven't shown us any file reference to a probe, what the police found, what sort of understanding was reached, what guarantee was taken, what follow-up to ensure that Aaftab Amin Poonawala was not resorting once again to thrashing, beating, brutalizing Shraddha. Well, viewers, none of that is known. And now listen to Shraddha's father.
श्रद्धा आफ्ताब ने उसको बताया कि वो उसके टुकड़े कर देगा, ये भी चीज उसमें लिखी गई है सर। तो आप
के बारे में एक्शन होना चाहिए था।
तो सर एक आखिरी सवाल मैं आपको पूछूंगा कि श्रद्धा का जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन, जो तुलिच पुलिस स्टेशन में जो कंप्लेंट दर्ज की, उसके 26 दिन के बाद उसने कंप्लेंट वापस की, उसी के साथ साथ ये आफ्ताब ने आज जो इतना खौफनाक काम किया है, आपको क्या लगता है पुलिस ने किस तरह से काम किया है? क्या आपको लगता है इन सारी चीजों में कहाँ गलत हुआ, चीजें गलत हुई?
नहीं, ये अभी मुझे लग रहा है कि दिल्ली पुलिस ने तो बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। यहाँ मेरा जब वसई पुलिस स्टेशन में कंप्लेंट हुआ तब ये थोड़ी सी देरी हो गई। उन्होंने काम तो किया है लेकिन ज्यादा रिस्पांस नहीं दिया उन्होंने।
Because there's a fundamental question also. Why haven't Aaftab's parents been booked as yet? If they knew that their son was brutalizing Shraddha, why didn't they speak up? Why didn't they go to the police? Why didn't they act? Because why didn't they at least go across to Shraddha's parents and share the apprehensions, if not the police? One understands that parents would be loath to incriminate their children, but they could have done a lot more. And for that, they must also answer. But viewers, let's open this up. I want to bring in Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate of the Supreme Court, Nirmal Kaur, former IPS officer first. Mr. Bhandari, you now know the contents of the letter. You know that the police was informed on the 26th. In fact, for 26 days on the 23rd of November, and for 26 days they did nothing. That's a simple question to you. Do you think the police was obliged under the law to take this forward, or they could easily have moved on because they really didn't need to act on what was a personal issue? Ishkaran Bhandari.
I'm sorry, Rahul, my earphone is not working. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yeah. Rahul, of course there is a police failure here. There is a three-layer failure here as I see it. Once of policing, because this lady is saying that he is threatening to kill me and to blackmail me and to cut me in pieces, and it came through. What we saw, the horrific details that I don't want to repeat, came through. If you remember on one of your first debates, I had said when the story was floating around that she wanted to marry Aaftab and that is why Aaftab killed her. I remember saying usually this is done when a woman is wanting to leave an abusive relationship, that a man gets enraged and does this. This letter shows that as early as 2020, she felt she should leave this abusive relationship. All the young girls hearing that, telling you from my legal experience, if a man hits, please leave. They don't improve. But the serious question which has to come in here, the SOP is very clear. If a man is blackmailing a woman, if a man is beating a woman, as soon as the complaint is made, an FIR has to be registered. The benefit of an FIR is that if then the police has to file a closure report, that has to go to the court. And the court has to sign off on that. So that is where the FIR helps you, because the police then cannot say, samjhauta ho gaya aur baat khatam ho gayi hai. That is why all the amendments in the law were made. And this, of course, is an extremely fit case where those amendments would have been helpful in the law. The other point which is very, very, very serious as a society we have to ask is why didn't the friends of Shraddha who have said that they knew about it, or
so that a girl does not stay in this abusive relationship, but that's a larger question for people to answer.
Very important, viewers. Let me bring in Nirmal Kaur. Nirmal Kaur, now we know that generally in issues such as this, the police would have acted. The BJP says the police has not acted because there was an element of inter-religious, interfaith marriage, and therefore no one wanted to be seen to be interfering in a relationship of this nature because, as you know, that could upset equations, political equations. Where do you stand on this?
The girl was tormented. The girl was tormented, and in this the religion shouldn't have entered. The girl was tormented, maybe his ethos or this thing sanctions this kind of behavior. But you know, our society doesn't, the mainstream society doesn't. And the police also should have registered an FIR. And also if they, like, you know, just now he said that 3 weeks later she came, he must have gone begging to her. Withdraw it. And the girl, you know, it's like an emotional blackmail. That is how the abusive relationships sustain. There's a factor of isolation, there is a factor of secrecy, and also there is a fact that every time he comes back, or, you know, the abuser comes back, begs your pardon, wants to start afresh, and, you know, the hope comes. So that is kind of an addiction by itself, an emotional addiction. But maybe he was giving her sedatives also, or some drugs, because when the mind subconsciously starts craving those drugs to stay on with that person. Maybe that is the mechanism he was using with her. Because she seems to be a girl with a lot of spunk to begin with. And she lost it all. I don't know how. But this abusive relationship is established. And 2 years back also he threatened to kill her. And no notice was taken of it. That also speaks that the girl had no support system around her. Either parents or friends or family or some social organizations. Because police is a brute force. Let's be honest, till date police is a brute force. Yes, they should have registered an FIR. They should have followed up. But also there should be some social organization where women in distress like this could go. There are any number of NGOs we have, any number of, you know, support systems we have, counseling, legal aid cells, this and that. But I think people are not aware of them. They have a helpline that also sometimes, you know, if you make a call, so many times the helpline no one even picks up. Leave alone a helpful person, you know, an understanding person answering it and putting you to the right people.
Right.
That never happens. So, you know, I think we need a social system to support these kind of women who are in domestic violence situations and to support them to get them out.
Okay, Asif Bhamla, many people are saying that the BJP's decision to politicize this is unfortunate. How do you respond to them?
All I can say is that Shraddha could have been saved. It's very unfortunate because I'm sure there was a plan in place beforehand. It couldn't have just happened. That is my assumption. I could certainly be wrong. But it's important, you know, to certainly take into consideration, you know, the role played by the investigation authority at that point in time.
Right.
You see, I mean, that certainly cannot be.
So what held them back? Mr.
No,
Bhamla, what held them back? What held them back? I mean, this is a government supported by the Congress party. One second, Mr. Bhamla. Let me just quickly.
I'm not able to complete. No, I've not got a chance to even.
No, I'm just wanting to ask you because.
Rahul, and you just.
Yeah, 1 second, Mr. Bhamla. I just want to ask you a specific question. We can all speak in generality. I just want to get into a few specifics. Now, this was a government that was supported by the Congress party, the NCP, both of which have committed themselves to women uplift. In fact, the Congress party's one of their lead campaigners, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, has always come out and said that women need to be secure in our society. Ladki hoon, lad sakti hoon is the campaign that she launched in Uttar Pradesh. If you remember, in the run-up to the last elections in Uttar Pradesh. Despite that, the commitment of this government has been found wanting. What could be the reason?
You see, I will reiterate as two factors. You see, there could have been an emotional factor where there is a lack of social support, and you know, with the sense of shame that normally a woman feels in a situation like that. That's one part. Second part, I would certainly also like to blame the government in place at that point in time, because 26 days this complaint was filed and then the complaint was withdrawn. You see, even after the complaint was withdrawn, firstly, why was an FIR not filed out? Now that we know that there's Nirbhaya in place and there is, it's such a sensitive issue, this is not something which can be taken for granted. I mean, certainly the government of the day then also has to answer, because I mean, I am sure, I mean, that's exactly where the people blame, that the government and the officials then, the police itself, I mean, they were also given to the responsibility of Vasuli. You see, so they were also forced. We can't fully blame the police. It was they also were reporting to their masters. You see, they had certain other tasks rather than this law and order, which was more significant and which was more important, which was not
the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra,
which was not
Mr. Fadnavis,
much attention,
and a senior BJP leader Ram Kadam have also spoken on this. Okay, Mr. Bhamla, let's open this up.
Yeah, today we have a Home Minister in Devendra Fadnavis, and you will see he will certainly walk the talk, because it is certainly a serious issue, and Shraddha has been from Maharashtra and she has been denied from justice in the past.
Okay, well,
future,
the Home Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Fadnavis, spoke to Times Now. So did Ram Kadam, another senior leader from the BJP. Let's listen in, viewers, to what they said. And I want Lokesh Jindal, Sanjay Jha and Mr. Shiv Sena's Mr. Gade to respond to this. Listen in.
वो पत्र मेरे पास भी आया है, मैंने उसको देखा है, बहुत सीरियस पत्र है. उसके ऊपर क्यों कार्रवाई नहीं हुई, इसकी जांच हमको करनी पड़ेगी. मैं किसी पर दोषारोपण नहीं करना चाहता, लेकिन इस प्रकार के पत्रों पर कार्रवाई अगर नहीं हुई तो ऐसी घटनाएं होती है, इसलिए जरूर उसकी जांच की जाएगी. ऐसा कार्रवाई होती तो शायद जान बच भी जाती.
जब चिट्ठी लिखी गई है तो महाराष्ट्र में उस समय उद्धव सरकार थी. कौन से ऐसे कारण हैं कि उद्धव सरकार ने किसी को जान का खतरा है ऐसी चिट्ठी मिलने के बाद भी कार्रवाई नहीं की? वसूली खेल में और तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति में यदि उद्धव सरकार लिप्त नहीं होती तो श्रद्धा की जान बच पाती.
Vasuli and appeasement was on their mind. Mr. Yogi Gade, Shiv Sena leader, with us. Mr. Gade, tell me, Vasuli and appeasement, which one the greater compulsion that stalled your police from acting?
Firstly, it is Mr. Gade, not Gade.
Okay, and, Mr. Gade.
Yes, coming to you, sir.
Yeah.
I would let you know it is the responsibility of the police to investigate the matter once it is with them. Okay. And if you are saying it is the Vasuli or the Mahavikas Aghadi government responsible for this.
No, I'm not saying it. The BJP is making this allegation. BJP. You heard Mr. Bhamla, you heard Mr. Ram Kadam, you've heard Mr. Fadnavis. They're all talking about the fact that when you were in power, your attention, the police's attention was diverted by other compulsions. And therefore, I'm asking you, sir, can you today distance your own administration from the consequences of what we are dealing with today? Mr. Gade.
Yes, I would like you to take you to 2018. In 2018, we had complained to the police station about the wrongdoings of certain politicians here. That time police took our letters, they didn't do anything, and then we had to lose 2 of our party men. They were murdered after that. That was the time when BJP was in power, when the Home Minister was Devendra Fadnavis. So does what they are putting on the blame on Shiv Sena right now, does it apply to them also during whatever they have not paid attention to when their rule was there, when they were in power? They didn't pay attention to some cases. So should they be blamed for this?
Sir, I don't know what you're talking about. Please be specific. If you have something specific, bring it onto the table. I am speaking. 1 minute, Mr. Bhamla. Please don't interrupt. Please, just 30. I'll let you respond to him.
This debate is with regards to what is being narrated.
Yes.
There are many stories which we can speak about. Why doesn't the concerned spokesperson speak on this issue of Shraddha and Aaftab Poonawalla? Why this why is he diverting this to some other
Why whataboutery? Why this whataboutery,
yes.
Mr. Gade? Why?
Yes, sir. No, I'm saying you similar cases have happened when Mr. Devendra
So
Ji
give me
also.
a case where a person brutalized in the manner predicting her own death at the hands of her accoster, assailant, etc., has written a letter to the Mumbai police under the BJP Shiv Sena government of the past, and no action was taken. Let's talk apples to apples. So I'm asking you, Mr. Gade, is this any defense? Yes, you can. They must have been. I'm sure they must have been. But
Yes,
today we are speaking in a specific context, and I want to ask you.
Okay.
What prevented you? Was it the fact that your mind was completely distracted? The police force's mind was completely chasing the red herring of Vasuli, etc. Or did appeasement politics, as the BJP is alleging, hold you back? It's a very simple question, Mr. Gade.
Yes. Mainly, firstly, the police who were on duty on the date the letter was written, they should be investigated. And if the BJP feels the Mahavikas Aghadi government didn't do anything, let there be an investigation by them. There should be an investigation. Is that your response,
sir? No apology, yes. No regret, no explanation for this massive lapse, no attempt to try and even hold up a hand to say, look, we failed, Shraddha. We actually went back on our commitment to women. Sanjay Jha, not even an explanation. No explanation is owed, is it?
All the political parties have failed.
You are part of the Congress party, Mr.
Yes.
Jha.
And I was telling you
that pledges, one second.
Investigation be done.
Sir. Okay, Mr. Gade, 1 second.
I have not told.
You can brazen it out, sir.
Standard answer.
You can brazen it out. I think Sanjay Jha wants to come in. Let me bring in Sanjay Jha. And Sanjay Jha and Asif Bhamla, let me bring them into this. Sanjay Jha, no explanation is required. It's okay, is it? Should we just close the chapter, move on? Bygones be bygones?
Rahul, if I'm not interrupted, I'll try and keep my answer as brief as possible.
Sure.
I believe a political party has to be savage, repugnant, immoral, and disgusting to try and make political capital out of someone's personal treasure. Nobody's denying the extremely crude and the heinous nature of the crime. I mean, it has caught the national imagination. We are all ashamed for what happened. But I think what makes it even more pathetic, and I need to call a spade here, Rahul, what makes our conversation today on your very popular program an absolute shame is that a party which has remained silent and endorsed the rapists of Bilkis Banu, which actually was trying to, in fact, even conceal what was going on in the case, is trying to sound sanctimonious here in terms of a government that received a complaint that was withdrawn after 26 days. I want to ask Mr. Bhamla's party, for 5 months you have had your government in power. What are you doing?
Let me bring him in.
If you suspect it was a love jihad case, what have you been doing for the last 5 months, Mr. Bhamla?
No, let me bring him in.
Can you answer the people of this country?
Okay, now let me bring him in. Now, viewers, I want you to pay attention, close attention. Mr. Sanjay Jha talks about how only the most morally bankrupt and savage political party will make capital out of this. Rahul Gandhi, Congress leader, September 2020 in Hathras, a young Dalit woman is brutalized, and viewers, he leads a march. He leads a march to Hathras along with his sister and several other opposition parties camping there and talking about UP's casteist jungle Raj. Viewers, just about 200 kilometers to the east of Hathras was another crime where a Muslim had brutalized a Dalit woman. Complete silence. So you can cherry pick your examples. Same time. You can cherry pick.
That's always been the case of the Congress.
Okay. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Mr. Bhamla?
A quick response to you, and then Mr. Bhamla can speak after. Asif, just give me 15 seconds, please. You know, you did the same in the case of the Sushant Rajput case. The country saw how you made a soap opera out of a poor Bollywood actor who died because it suited your political game.
It was a soap opera. You should be ashamed, Sanjay. He was also from Bihar. You are
That's
also
what
from
you
Bihar.
did.
At least
That's
have
what your
a
party
sentiment
did.
of the state alive.
Your party
Why are you
did.
so
Your
ruthless?
party mocked it for the Bihar elections.
Why
You
have
were
you
targeting
become so
Bihar
ruthless?
elections. Everybody knows that. The whole world knows what you are capable of. You are a lovely human being, Asif.
No,
your party stinks. Your party is crude. Your party is cheap. Your party is vulgar. Your party is disgusting. You are a lovely human being.
Strong objections to this. I take
You're
strong
a good man in
objections to
wrong
this.
party, Asif. Let me tell you that.
No, well, whether I'm in the right
one
or whether I'm in the
one
wrong
second,
party, I don't think.
Mr. 1 second, Mr. Bhamla, 1 second. Let me just bring out to you viewers what the Chief Minister of Rajasthan said, Mr. Gehlot, on this incident.
Can I rebut to Sanjay though?
Yeah, I'll allow you. Just allow me, sir.
Rahul,
30 seconds.
Give me,
Mr. Gehlot, and I'm. Listen, no, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, please.
Shall
Sanjay
we ask
Jha,
why
1 minute,
Prime
please.
Minister Modi silent
Sanjay Jha,
on the
1
basis-
second.
on
1
the
second.
basis of
You are
Bilkis
today
I would
venting
like
your
to rebut to
spleen
Sanjay
at the
Jha.
lack of
Why is
consideration.
Modi silent on Bilkis Banu's
Okay,
rapist
look,
being released?
why are you
Answer that
shouting? Why are you shouting
question.
over
No,
each other?
let us ask of the Pradhan Sevak of this country.
Why are you shouting?
Let us
Why
ask
are
this
you
question
shouting?
of man who says Beti Bachao,
Okay,
Beti Padhao.
okay. Now-
let us ask this
Now,
question
viewers-
to the man who matters.
Okay.
Why are you worried
Rahul sir, I
about
think
Fadnavis?
Okay,
I'm
okay,
not about
okay,
Modi, boss.
okay.
Whose
1 second.
Fadnavis is irrelevant. He's
Okay,
a cipher.
of course.
Mr. Modi calls
Nothing.
the shots.
Mr. Modi,
Let's
drag him in.
leader.
He was of course the Home Minister of the state
Why are we
in
so scared
2020.
to
Now
take
1 minute.
practice to
1
be
second.
silent?
Sanjay Jha,
The
look,
rapist-
either I'll have to silence you or you please maintain decorum. Please.
Okay.
I'm requesting you, okay? You're a sensible
I get it.
person. Ashok Gehlot, Rajasthan Chief Minister. This is on Shraddha, viewers. Look at the casual disregard, huh? These kinds of incidents keep taking place. I do not want to repeat it over here. Women have to suffer several atrocities. We'll have to keep politics aside and come together. Only then will it stop. Till the society changes, it is not possible to bring a safe environment for women. To bring the change, all parties need to come together. Now, viewers, had Rahul Gandhi said this during Hathras, one would have said there is consistency. At that time, viewers, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ishkaran Bhandari, Rahul Gandhi played a political hand. In fact, just a few weeks later in Rajasthan, there was a brutal rape. But no questions were asked. No Congress leaders went to Rajasthan to camp there. Their own chief minister was not asked a single question. I dare say no one can actually ask Ashok Gehlot a question from within the Congress. They asked him to step in and contest as president. He says, sorry, can't do it. And everyone quietly sat to the side. So when it comes to putting power first, I'm sorry, the Congress hasn't really, Mr. Jha, acquitted itself in any manner that would suggest that it is any less moral than the party that you are accusing of immorality. Mr. Bhandari.
Rahul, it would be unfortunate if there was no precedent for this. Forget Congress. We have seen in the name of secularism what happened in Muzaffarnagar, where Azam Khan was actively protecting one community. So there have been enough instances where the political consideration take over the policing considerations. Sanjay Jha can sit here and pretend as if it's something very new and alien, that there are not police personnel posted based on their religion. He can pretend that there are not considerations on which community you will not take action, on which community you will take action in the name of secularism. But anybody who understands policing, anybody who has seen governance in this country and in various states knows it's a reality. Whether that happened in this case or not, of course, has to be established by investigation. But to say that question cannot be raised, or to say questions cannot be raised on the fact of how certain communities, certain girls are being targeted, I think is doing a disservice to any case, and that disservice of investigation not being done should not be done, because that's what happened to Shraddha. She wanted an investigation. She says I'm being blackmailed, but 26 days down the line, probably she's come to the blackmail.
Now let me tell you, viewers,
the guy had been arrested or if
the reason we are asking this question is because there seems to have been the seed of this idea already. Again, let me quote the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Mr. Gehlot, when he was asked. He said this incident is very unfortunate. They're just naming it as an incident, but this is Jumla of the current government. This is not anything new. Intercaste marriages has been going on for years. The manner in which a particular community is being targeted and BJP is playing politics is not right. So the community angle, Aaftab, Asif Bhamla rather, and Lokesh Jindal now will go up against each other. Mr. Bhamla, by raising this, one second, by advocating for Shraddha, are you advocating against, just correct the record here, are you advocating against interfaith alliances, marriages, relationships, or are you just seeking justice? What is it that you are doing?
As an individual and as a party also. Today we saw Honorable Devendraji's statement, you see, that this could have been avoided. You see, it's not on the basis of religious or the faith. Justice is a justice, irrespective of any community, you see. Whether you see a community, you see, it is, you see, you can't say that there have been governments that who have been concluding or taken a decision on the basis of that on a particular community you should take an action or you should not. But I don't think, as far as this particular case goes, I think there is. It's just that the case Shraddha particularly belonged to Maharashtra. And she's been a girl from Maharashtra, so she certainly, she should be given full justice. And why was justice not given? Why was an FIR not filed suo moto?
Okay.
That's what is there.
I'll bring in Lokesh Jindal and Nirmal Kaur. I'll bring in Nirmal Kaur and Lokesh Jindal.
And when Rahul, the withdrawal was done, why did the then concerned administration also not take so moto cognizance of as to what was the reasons which compelled her to take the withdrawal?
Okay.
I mean,
Let me bring in Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh
we
Jindal,
just talk about optics of Nirbhaya and all of that.
Yes. So let me ask, Vasuli and appeasement. Now, why is Mr. Gehlot deliberately dog whistling by referring to Aaftab's religion if it was not a consideration? Was his religion the reason why the police perhaps looked away? Was there some tacit order passed in general that crimes committed by one particular community must not be investigated? Was this the case, Lokesh Jindal? Please respond. The BJP is asking, and many others like Ishkaran Bhandari want to know. Former IPS Nirmal Kaur is here also, and I'm going to bring her in and ask her whether the police sometimes is pressured by governments to take politically, afraid so viewers, politically selective action. Yes, Mr.
Rahul, why aren't questions being asked to the BJP? Because if you look at the entire scenario, now this person was living in Pahadi Chhatarpur and was disposing of body which was 3.5 kilometers away in the Mehrauli Forest Ridge area at night 2 to 4 a.m. Now, the point is this person is walking with that particular bag in hand and throwing off the skull. Now, where is the patrolling vehicle? Now, when you're talking about Delhi police, don't you think that Mehrauli area, which is a crime area, criminal area, it needs to have barricading, it needs to have patrolling.
Not a criminal area. Look at Jindal, please.
No, I'm talking about the
don't reduce everybody to a criminal to make a political point. Criminals don't live in Mehrauli. This is ridiculous.
No, I'm talking about the Mehrauli Ridge area.
Can I come in here?
At night, 2 to 4 a.m., if somebody is coming with the body part and is able to dispose them off, not for one day, but for 4 months, where was the patrolling of the Delhi police?
Nirmal Kaur,
and secondly,
it's nothing to do with the, hang on. Mr. Jindal has very artfully placed the ball in the Delhi police court. Now, Nirmal Kaur, is this logical, this response from Mr. Jindal, or is it a very clever way of deflecting? Ms. Kaur.
I think when in 2020, there was a report to the police. Police should have taken action. Police cannot say that, 2020, she is almost predicting what happened later, 1.5 years later. So, but the police did not take action. That, I think, is a serious fault. And in these domestic violence cases, there are clear instructions that even if a girl comes and tries to withdraw her complaint, that is not to be withdrawn. That is not to be taken seriously at all. That is the pattern of all domestic violence complaints. Women come, then he must be begging her, or he must have, placated her, or in some way, reassured her. And she comes back because she is a poor girl in love. So it is a normal police protocol. Not even if the girl withdraws a complaint, once it is made, it is not to be withdrawn. So
it's
that
not to be withdrawn. Lokesh Jindal, it was withdrawn. It was allowed to be withdrawn. There was no probe for 26 days, and you are blaming the Delhi police. Next, you'll blame Amit Shah. Then you'll blame the Prime Minister. Isn't that the pattern?
See, we accept that there was a lapse from the Mumbai police and it must be investigated. But what also must be investigated is the inefficiency of the Delhi police.
Okay.
So as to do proper patrolling.
Right.
And only after this incident came to light by Shraddha's parents was this investigated and brought to light.
So in other words, what Mr. Lokesh Jindal is saying, viewers, if at night you want to leave your house with a polythene bag, you will be questioned, you will be taken, detained, asked questions. This is no longer a free country, it's a police state.
And you will not be asked a question.
You want to go to your neighbor's house with your bag. You want to go to the airport. You want to go to the police station. You want to go to the train station. You want to go to
now you want to say that
your work. You will be stopped because we will have Nakabandi. Viewers,
Rahul,
we will have Nakabandi everywhere.
Don't you think
what do you make of this forest area? Mr. Jindal, I think you... One second. Mr. Bhandari wants to come in. 1 minute. Silent, everybody. Yes. Mr. Bhandari. Yes.
20 seconds. First, if police was to do Nakabandi like this, and Delhi has plenty of Nakabandi, you will say they are profiling a Muslim, they are doing targeting, they are doing profiling. You will have articles in New York Times saying Musalman ki profiling ho rahi hai, uska bag khulwa ke uska bag dekh rahe the. Unless police has a reason to believe, why would they stop a car and tell him to take out all his stuff out and to search it? There has to be some amount of reason before the police does that. Second point here is, Mehrauli is not a criminal area. I don't know where they get their knowledge from. It's a normal area like any other part of this country. So please don't profile the entire area as a criminal area. And third, and the very minor point I want to make in here is, stop defending the indefensible. There were enough lapses done by the Mumbai police, whether that was deliberate or under political pressure, or there were usual things falling through the cracks. That is for investigation to establish.
Okay, viewers. There has been a massive lapse. We don't know why. We hope that a probe is now instituted by this government into this lapse. All those who looked away, all those who did not follow the norms, as Nirmal Kaur today, former IPS, has come out and stated, must be asked why. Action should be taken. Disciplinary action should be taken. And I'm afraid, viewers, the political dispensation of that day cannot wash its hands of this matter. You can't have different yardsticks to judge the police and the administration of different states just because you happen to not be in power there, you're in opposition there. That cannot work. I want to move on.